AS Monaco are an interesting club to say the least. They've had some very fierce competition within the Ligue 1, and because of that competition, they've never really been able to accomplish as much as they would have loved to. The last time that they had won the Ligue 1 was over 8 years ago, and since then, competition has developed with teams like Marseille and Lille pushing for that title, however, none of them managing to consistently knock off PSG from the top of the board. So today, we will be going into the AS Monaco job and taking over French football once and for all. And that leaves us here, AS Monaco Rebuild. I'm excited for this one because it's quite similar to the Marseille one, I'll be honest. They've been dominated for way too long by PSG, and it's time for someone to knock them off the board properly. I believe we were successful in the Marseille one, if I'm correct. I hope I am. But now it's time to do it with a team that I would say isn't as popping right now. Marseille is currently probably at their best, and I don't think Monaco are anywhere near that right now. However, we do have quite a good team at our selection. Players such as Folarin Balogun, a top striker, came from Arsenal. Of course, I know him from his time at Rennes. He did very well there. That was in the same league as this. So I'm sure that there's a player in there that we can bring out to the world and show just how good he is. Alexander Golovin, another great player. A great servant to the club, been at the club for many years. I believe he's the captain. If I'm wrong, then please forgive me, but I believe he is. He's been quite good over his long period of time at the club. One main player though that I need to look at, Ellis Ben Seguir. He is a world-class wonder kid. I'm saying that full chest. No denying it, he is world class. I've used him so many times in this game and he's been brilliant each time. So we will be locking him into whatever squad. He's going to be the one we build around for any tactic that we go for. Trust me with that, because I'm not lying. We will be building our team around him for sure. So we've got quite a good team here. However, I'm not sure how we're going to put it out for the tactics for this first season. I think we're gonna go with something with two strikers. I think Mbolo and Balogun are two brilliant strikers. They both have a great finish on them, and just getting the ball to them will be main priority. Get them into a good position to finish. Two strikers is probably the only thing I can say right now. But all round, I think we've got a great team, and I'm excited for this first season. I think we're ready to go on to the first transfer window to show you guys who we've brought in, who we've sold, and what our tactic will be looking like for this first season. I'm excited now. I'll catch you there. So no transfers have been made in this first season. I don't think the team really needs it, and it's a bit wrong to make transfers now that the real life transfer window has closed and it is updated transfers. Of course, we do have the real transfers from real life this past transfer window. So looking at the best 11, this is kind of what the team will be looking like. We will be taking Minamino out and putting in Ben Seguir, as I've previously mentioned, but this is kind of how the team will look. Now don't start yet, because the tactic, just give me 1 second to explain. The tactic, it will work. It will work. We've got the two strikers up top, as previously mentioned, on advanced forward. We've got, okay, now just hear me out. We've got Ben Seguir as a shadow striker on the right side, and then no one else next to him. And then beneath him, we've got two centre midfielders, one a Mazzala, one a box to box, and then a left midfielder rather than a left winger. Now, just give me a second to explain. So we've got obviously the box to box and Mazzala. Now, of course, naturally there's going to be a lot of space left open on this right hand side. That is where Ben Seguir and Zakaria both contribute to that side of the pitch. Ben Seguir has the instruction to run wide with the ball, meaning that when he does have the ball at his feet, he will be kind of moving over to that right hand side on the right wing pretty much, being able to deliver a good ball into the strikers, or, you know, provide a short pass. And it's a similar thing with Zakaria. In attack, he will be starting to look to move out to that right wing if it is necessary for him. Now, I think this will be a good system, a good, you know, some communication between the attacking midfielder and centre mids, and this can work out perfectly. Also, Golovin, we've chosen to put him as a left midfielder rather than a winger, as I think he's a very, very good left midfielder. He's a natural centre mid pretty much, so I thought rather put him as a left mid than a left winger. He provides that extra bit of support to the defence, obviously, as that right side is not completely, you know, it's not full on the right side. If Zakaria is forced to go wide, then Golovin is also able to help contribute towards the midfield and the defence in general. I think this will be a great system and so far it's proven well. It's proven well so far. 4 games in and some very big wins. Before I show you who we actually beat, just take a look at that goal difference. Okay, now 4 games, 4 wins, a win against PSG at home, our main title competitors, an away win at Montpellier 7-3, a home win against Strasbourg 5-2, and an away win against RC Lens 2-1. That is an amazing start to this season, and I'm sure, hopefully, if we can carry this out, we can take this so much further, even end on winning the league this first season. Now that could make this one of the fastest successful rebuilds that I've ever done. 1 season in and it's a possibility here. This team's looking brilliant, and I'm sure we're going to put up a good challenge for that league title. Honestly, I want somewhere within the top 3. That's all I can ask for. We don't have a solid team all round, I'll be honest. We've got a great attack, I think, but that defense is dodgy with players like Kera and also the goalkeeper. I don't think the goalkeeper is world class, but we care about one thing, and that's taking over PSG in the long run. We're not going to rush anything. In the long run, we want to take them over. So I think we're ready to sim to the end of this first season, show you lot the results, and hopefully we've managed to have a successful season as our first season as manager of AS Monaco. So end of season 1, and our player stats look amazing. I'll be honest, for a first season, you don't often see them looking this good. Valerian Balogun as our top goal scorer, 35 goal contributions and 30 goals in his first season at Monaco. Well, first season in the game. First season in the game. That is a great start to his career. I mean, honestly, I knew there was a player in there. I said it at the beginning of the video. It was all about giving him the confidence to bring that out and show it to the team. Highest assist goes to Golovin, Alexander Golovin. Wow. Those goal, just take a look at those goal contributions. Is that 43 goal contributions in 44 games? That's mental. How is he not the highest average rating? That's crazy. He's almost averaging 1 goal contribution a game. That is mental. Wow. I don't understand how he isn't the top of the highest average rating charts, but oh well, what a season from him. And I take full credit for that, by the way. That's my tactic. But let's take a look at competition to see how we have managed to do in our first season. Okay, now I don't know if you could see that, but all excitement left my face. All excitement left. No, honestly, the Ligue 1 results aren't... It's different, because at the beginning of the save, I was thinking, yeah, this is kind of where I expect my team to be first season. But seeing those first 4 results kind of made me think we were going to be 1 or 2 positions higher, meaning a possible league title win. And that doesn't... It looks like we've just been destroyed since then. Yeah, no, it's been poor. I mean, matches that we lost... Yeah, no, those are ones that you'd expect to lose, mostly at least. A couple of them, Brest I wouldn't expect to lose, and Rem I probably wouldn't expect to lose. A couple draws which I'm sure we could have done better with. A lot of home games there which we should be doing better with. Honestly, not horrible. It's kind of, like I said, it was what I was expecting at the start of the video, but not halfway into the video. Round of 16s of the Champions League is a lot better than I thought. We actually made it out of the group this time, which is something I didn't think we would do. Actually, we beat Inter Milan. We made it through over Inter Milan. That's mental. I thought we would be in the Europa League, but round of 16s it ended up being wasted. 6-1 loss to Real Madrid. We got knocked out in the 11th round of the French Cup by PSG, and runners-up of the Trophée des Champions That was, I believe it's like the Community Shield of the French League. It's French Cup winners versus the league winners, I'm pretty sure. So that would make sense. I think so, at least. But yeah, no, honestly, it's not a horrible season. Could have been better, but it's not horrible. Let's just take a look at the tactic. And I think certain players have done well. Certain players definitely have done well. Places to improve on, like I said, centre mid. I don't know if I did mention it, but centre mid's one position that I think I am quite unhappy with, to be honest. And goalkeeper is one that I know for a fact I mentioned. That's one that I need to change. However, the budget for that doesn't look too great. So we're going to need to be making some sales here to fund those transfers. I'll be back at the end of our second transfer window to show you how we have managed to get on with this. I'm excited now because I know there's a lot to build off of. I hope we can do it. Let's go. So we've started off with only one sale, and I believe this one was an option to buy in his loan. He went off to Galatasaray on loan. They signed him on a permanent for 6.75 million. Ismail Jacobs has left. Now, on to some transfers into the club. Jonathan Tah has left Leverkusen on a free transfer. We swooped in and took the 29-year-old in as soon as possible. I saw he was still not taken on a job, so we came in and took him. He is going to be quite brilliant for us, I'm sure. Just some of those attributes there, they look already mental. The strength, he's a big figure, 6'5", 18 strength with 16 pace also. He is a top quality centre back, and I'm sure he can do well. Last season did quite alright in the Bundesliga, and I'm sure he can do even better in the Ligue 1. We also went out and signed Leandro Paredes from Roma. We signed him for £12.5 million. Now this is a bit of a steep transfer, but he has the ability to do well, and also he's experienced within the league. Of course, he spent 6 years over at Paris Saint-Germain, our big rivals PSG. So I'm hoping that some of that experience comes through here and shines as our box-to-box midfielder. And finally, we've brought in Kalmin Kelleher on a loan. This is a loan to buy deal, I believe. Yep, optional buy fee of £10 million that can be activated at the end of the season if we do think he is done well. 4 games in and a 7.2 average rating, meaning that he probably has done well so far. 2 whole clean sheets is a very big thing as a goalkeeper in 4 games, so I'm happy with that for sure. And the tactic we're running is going to be the exact same. However, when I do run by the best 11, this is kind of what it does show us. Players that I'm locking in are Ben Seguir and Tah. Ben Seguir, now it shows him up on the best 11, but it wasn't before. Tah, also it does show him, but I want him to be the left centre back, as I also do want a way to fit in Jordan Teze at the same time. I believe it was Jordan Teze. Yeah, I think it is Jordan. No, there was a different centre back that I needed to fit in. Yeah, this is awkward. No, I don't. Okay, now I don't know who it is. Allow me. No, Singo. Sorry, that's how I wanted to run it. But if I do leave Tah the way it is, it will put Tah as a right centre back and put Singo on as right back. I think this is how I'm happiest to run the team this season, and I think this can get us some big results. We've got the experience now in the team. This can hopefully take us a little step further into challenging properly for the title and getting a couple points away from it. Last season, we were too far away from it, and I was unhappy with that. But so far this season, we've started off even, well, I'm not even better, but just as well, let's be honest. 1 draw and 3 wins. That draw away against Brest, we've got a bad record against them. And 3 wins, some big ones there as well. 6-0 against SM Caen, 2-0 win away at Montpellier, and a 4-1 win at home to Nantes. Big start. PSG sharing a very similar record. We are just above on goal difference. I think if we can carry that out throughout the rest of the season, then it will be great for us. However, that is the main thing, keeping it going on throughout the rest of the season. Hopefully we can manage to do that. I think with this team, we are prepared to go into this season and fight hard to do well in the Champions League and the league. I'm excited now. Let's go. Okay, so looking at our player stats, we're sharing quite a similar season to last season from what I can guess. 14 assists from Ben Seguir as our highest assist. It's a bit less than Golovin last season. But all round, 29 goal contributions from him is quite a good result. 41 games also. He's 21 years of age now. He's just starting to push for that prime. Well, not even yet. He's still in his young years, to be honest. He's pushing towards getting himself ready for his prime, which will be a dangerous time for the world. I really hope we can manage to keep him throughout that, because I'm sure that Real Madrid's already sniffing about trying to get him. Following Balogun as our highest goal scorer, 29 goals and 8 assists, meaning he had 37 goal contributions in 41 games. Big results from him as well. Someone who, honestly, I was worried at the beginning of the save wouldn't do well. He proved me wrong. Fair enough. I hold my hands up high. A couple other bits here and there, such as, you know, best pass completion from Kelleher. But let's take a look at competitions and see how we've done. Honestly, horrible. I'll be honest, quite horrible. That's not even nearly as good of a season as I would have hoped to have achieved. Europa League football, 2 points off of the top 3, which is Champions League, and a total of what, 23 points behind the title. That is an absolutely horrific season. Horrible. That is the stuff seen in horror movies. 23 points is a lot of games. That's nearly 8 games behind PSG. So PSG would have had to lose an extra 8 games for them to be on our points. Now, can you hear what's wrong with that just by me saying it? That's a horrendous season, man. Honestly, I don't care how many points away from the top 3 we were. We can't be this low down. That's horrible, and there's a lot of work to be done now. Taking a look at the tactic, some changes are gonna have to be made ASAP. Taking a look at the best 11, sorry. Changes are gonna have to be made ASAP. I mean, Paredes, we brought him in for that experience. He looks like he's declined very, very fast in ability. A lot of his stats have gone down quite fast, and he's only 31, let's be honest. He's not the oldest of ages. He's still, for a midfielder, there's still a lot of life left in him, but he's just declined very, very fast. We've got to make some changes here, because, I mean, certain people aren't doing as well as I would have hoped. Jonathan Tah included. There's a lot of work to be done, transfers to be made, and only 32 million in the budget. So some big sales are going to have to be made also to make sure all of those are funded, especially with the fact that we're going to have to buy a new goalkeeper unless we go back to Cone. This is not a good situation to be in. I'm actually quite unhappy. I mean, places to improve, like I said, a new midfielder, new centre back. That's where I can see we're definitely going to have to buy a goalkeeper, as I said, unless we do stick with Kelleher and spend that 10 million on him. Otherwise, I'm just very unhappy with everyone. A new tactic might be necessary, but I think we're just going to have to run over to the end of the next transfer window to show you how I've managed to be able to save this team, because it's going to need some saving. So we started off our transfer window by selling Philip Cohen off to FC Metz for £2 million. He wanted to leave after spending the whole of last season on the bench. I'm not surprised. We've also sold Mohamed Salisu off to Damac for £10 million. A player we signed from Southampton, not me personally, but the team signed from Southampton, and I wasn't really planning on using him anymore. And the final sale, however, a very, very big one, Folarin Balogun has left us for £75 million. A lot of money, but it's a world-class striker that will be leaving us. So I'm upset about it, but we will have to move on and use that money to benefit the entire team. So we've started off by signing Jan Couto from Manchester City. Now, he left them on a free after only playing 3 games for them off the bench. He had quite a successful loan spell over at Borussia Dortmund in this save, and then went back to Man City, didn't play, and now he's off on a free. Signed him, 24 years old, he's very talented by the looks of it. Crossing and dribbling ability are definitely there, just the way that I like my fullbacks, as I've always said. I think he's got a lot of potential to make it big for us. We've also gone out and signed Mark Gahey on a free transfer. This one was quite insane to me. But Crystal Palace, I'm pretty sure they got relegated. They let him go on a free, and there was no interest whatsoever in him. I don't understand it, because normally every single save that I do and he gets let go on a free, there's interest from every single place you can look. There was zero interest in him. We ended up signing him for a cheap £80,000 per week. Absolutely brilliant transfer, and that's one that I'm sure we will carry with us to the end of this rebuild. Next, we've signed one of our rival players. Adrien Rabiot has played for both of our big rivals, PSG and Marseille now, and he's come to AS Monaco now on a free transfer. He did very well in his 2 seasons at Marseille. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience, Rabiot does, for clubs like Juventus, PSG, and most previously Marseille. And he's already started off very well, 7 games in, and a 7.29 average rating. He's going to be a top class box-to-box midfielder. As I'm sure you would have expected, due to the lack of money, we've had to settle for purchasing Calmain Kelleher on a permanent transfer. Only £10 million. Cheap for a goalkeeper in this economy, but will he be able to carry on for the rest of the save? I'm not sure. He might have to turn into a backup again, and I'm not sure if he'll be happy with that either. Jared Bowen is our final signing. We've signed him in for £60 million. A lot of money for someone who's never really played in a different league, but I really hope he can adapt fast. I mean, he's a very gifted player, and I hope he can do well in this team. However, it is a very risky one, and I'm not sure if I should have taken it. After seeing the way he started so far, I'm not thinking it was worth it. But we'll take it and move on. It's my mistake, and now we just have to live up to it. So that was the final transfer, but taking a look at the team, this is how we're planning to run it for our third season, I believe. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I can't tell you. But we're going for a 4 at the back standard with 3 in centre midfield, sorry. 1 defensive midfielder, 2 centre mids, 1 Mezzala in there as well. Shadow striker and 2 advanced forwards. I think this will be a proper team. Paredes, someone I still don't trust, but we're left with him in the team. I really just hope he can do something. Maybe Rabiot's best as the Mezzala on there. Maybe he's not. We'll have to wait and see. One thing that I am very happy with though is the centre-back partnership. I think that's a very good foundation for the team. Starting from the back is somewhere, you know, it's something that is very big, and it's important for every football team. So having a strong back line is brilliant. But we've started off the league rough. So 1 loss here at home to Rennes, a draw 1-1 at home to Lyon, but 2 wins and 1 very insane win, an away win against PSG. We beat them 1-0, and that is the only reason why I've kept this tactic, simply because we beat PSG 1-0. It might be a lot lying on one little result, but who cares? We're going for it. If we can beat a team like PSG, I'm sure we can beat the rest of them. So I'm excited for this season. I'm hoping it's risky, and I can't predict it, but I'm hoping that we can end in the top 3 once again, because that's all we can hope for. So we're here, end of the 3rd season, and this season it confuses me very much. So we'll start off from the top. Alexander Golovin, our top goal scorer. Now it looks like we've kind of been in a weird situation where we don't know how to run the club without Balogun as our striker. But I'm happy that Golovin has taken up the goal scoring role and has scored that 26 goals. Now he's got 34 goal contributions in 41 games. Still a great servant at the club. I don't know what we're going to do without him when he does retire, but we'll just have to move on from there. Now, most assists is a very strange one. 3 different players tied on 14, such as Caio Henrique on 14 assists and a 7.18 average rating. Ben Seguir on a 7.18 average rating and 14 assists, very similar, the exact same actually, with 12 goals also, so 26 goal contributions. And Adrien Rabiot on a 7.22 with 14 assists, with 9 goals also from a box-to-box midfielder is quite good, I'll be honest. Highest average rating goes to Bril Embolo. I still believe he's got a lot of talent, and as you can see, 25 goals is not a little amount of goals to score. So I think we should be more focused on getting the ball up to him, which we haven't been. I'll be real, it's not something that we've been too focused on, but we don't see Jarrod Bowen anywhere here, so that clearly hasn't been a great signing. I'm worried to take a look at competitions, but I'm gonna have to, just for your sake. I don't want to look at it. Let's go. 3rd place. Praise the Lord. Oh my god, I didn't think we'd do it. But one big thing is that PSG have actually been knocked off the top of the table, and that could be very, very massive for us. That could be the start of us taking over from next season. Now they've been knocked off once, it's time to get them while they're vulnerable. These next 2 seasons should be our seasons. We focus on going as hard as we can to win the league after this. They had quite a poor season, very, very similar to us, only 2 points ahead, let's be honest. Just one game that was different. They won 1 extra game and we drew that game. So if we would have, if we would have won and they would have drew, then we would have ended up 2 points ahead of them. Very, very similar seasons, like I had said. Quarterfinals of the Europa League, a bit of a letdown, I'll be honest, but I don't mind. It's not something that I care about too much, I'll be very honest. Honestly, I'll take that season. Now, tactic change for next season. As I've said, we are focused completely on winning the league next season, and no if, buts or maybes. I'm talking we are going to win it next season. So this is kind of how I see us running it. Just because Bowen has not worked as our striker, I think it's about time to move him onto the winger and support. Shadow striker Ben Seguir, of course. Actually, yeah, let me sort by the best 11. You can see this is kind of how I want it to run. I think this is going to work. We've got very attacking wing backs, of course, as I've said. No, not as I've said, but as is visibly seen with Yan Couto. Obviously, he's got great technical ability, and I believe Caio Henrique does also. He does have very good technical ability. They are both good to be running forward. Bowen on wing of support, I think that is kind of one of his main roles. He hasn't been a goal scorer in this save, so it's time to turn him into that support player. Ben Seguir and Mbolo, main striking threats. Rabiot behind as a box-to-box, and we've managed to get Singo into the team, someone who's very, very good, and I want him to be playing as much as possible, but that hasn't been happening last season with Yan Couto in the team. So I really hope he can get some game time as a centre-back. Wide centre-back is kind of the role we're going for, so he will kind of spread out into the right-back position, but we'll wait and see. I think this tactic will work out. I like the look of it, and I'm sure this will be very, very helpful. So that being said, places to improve. I think this is a strong team. I don't know if there are places we can improve. So that all depends on who we do sell and who we, and who has interest in them. If we do sell any of these players, we're forced to replace them. So we'll be looking at that, or maybe just depth in certain positions will be needed. Otherwise, I don't see much transfer business going on in our 4th season, I believe, which is the one oncoming. This team looks good. I think we're ready to go into this 4th season and destroy the competition. Let's do it. So we started off with a sale. Leandro Paredes has gone off to join OGC Nice, another team in Ligue 1, meaning it's his 3rd team in Ligue 1. Never mind, I was thinking he was Rabiot for a second. £10 million though, good money to get for a 33-year-old. I was never going to reject it. And we've made one single signing. We signed Boulaye Dia as our backup striker for Mbolo. I think he did very well last season in the Serie B, not Serie A, Serie B for Salernitana. I think he's a pretty decent striker, someone who we can hopefully use as good quality depth, good in multiple positions. I'm happy with him. Now, taking a look at the tactic one more time. We've changed a couple things. We've changed a couple things. So we've made Mbolo a deep lying forward rather than an advanced forward, because I don't think he is that advanced forward type. He does have great passing ability as well, I believe. Yeah, 14 passing is pretty good. So if it wasn't going to be deep lying forward, it would be pressing forward for me. And we've also changed Zakaria into a ball-winning midfielder on support rather than defend. Other than that, no other changes have been made. These are changes after the matches have been played, by the way. meaning that, you know, these first 4 games have been a bit shaky. But actually, you know what? They haven't been. No, that's my bad. Looking at it, every other team's played 1 more game than we have. We have a game in hand. If we win that game in hand, we're basically up to 3rd. I'm happy with it. Good start. A 1-0 loss away against PSG. We were destined to lose that. But 3 wins. 4-0 against Nice, 4-0 against Brest, and a 1-0 win away from home against RC Lens. Big start. I'm happy with it. Let's move on though. I think this tactic is going to take us places, and I'm excited to see how we do this season. Sorry, one more change that we made. Instead of a winger on support, we changed Bowen to an inverted winger on support. These are all newer changes, so I'm excited to see if we can use those to win us this league title. As I said, I want it now, not later. Okay, end of season 4, penultimate season, and I'm expecting a lot better. Player stats, they look alright, I'll be honest. And Bolo top of the goal scoring charts, a lot better. That's something that I was hoping to see. I was expecting him up there now as a sole striker. A lot was based all around him. I didn't know if he was going to be that player, but I'm happy that he was. KO Enrique as our top assists and highest average rating, I believe. Yep. Like I said, I think it's the new system that did help him out. Of course, there's not much on that left hand side, so he kind of was one of the biggest attacking threats on that left hand side, whipping in good crosses and all of that. But I'm excited for competitions. I'm sure we've done well. We won it. We won it. We won the league. Who cares about anything else? We've done it. And what a season it was. Only dropping points in 5 games total. That is quite brilliant. I'm very happy with that. We managed to do it. We beat PSG to the title. I told you we were going to do it, and none of you believed me. I said once they were vulnerable, it was time. And they were vulnerable, so we took over. They pushed hard, but we pushed harder. I don't care what any of you say to me. That is a brilliant season, no matter how we did in the Champions League. Even though we got knocked out in the league phase, which is actually, now that I look at it, a bit shocking. Who cares? We managed to do it. French Cup, who cares that as well? No one does. That is a brilliant season. Just looking at the recent form, look at all that green. Just look how we've done. So good. I'm happy with my team. I'm very happy with my team. I'm taking that any single day of the week, and I'm excited because this gives us something to build off of. Tactic wise, I don't see much more that can improve this team. I think we've gone, like, I think the tactic is the exact same. I haven't made any changes yet. I don't know if I will. I very well might if we do make sales or transfers in. All depends on who we do really sell in this situation, because if we sell one of these players, we're gonna have to replace them. Places that we could improve on, Keller had a great season. I can't even say he did any wrong. I mean, a centre back, nope, Teze had a great season as well. So there's not really much to improve on. Rabiot is aging. That's one thing I can comment on. He's 33 years old as of right now. He's old. So that could be something that we look to change very soon. And Golovin also aging, 32 years old. And he is in a bit of a more important role than Rabiot. Well, not important, but more, you know, a higher up role, one that's more contributed to our goal scoring, and I need everyone to be on point there, which I can't say for Bowen. He's never on point. But I'm happy with how we look now. I think ahead of our last season, I believe. Yeah, next season is our final season. It all depends on who we sell, but we could go on to make it twice and properly take PSG off the map. Let's go straight into it. So ahead of our final season, one single signing in, none out. Charles De Ketelaere, I hope I said that right, has joined us on a free transfer from Atalanta. Now, if you know Klex, you know he loves robbing Atalanta of their players. Honestly, we've signed so many players from them. We need to do a rebuild with Atalanta one day, because I'm always taking their players. I'm sure I'd be a brilliant manager of their club. Charles De Ketelaere, he will make a great shadow striker in our current role. I think he's brilliant. Looking at the tactic, we've changed it up once again. So instead of a 5 at the back, sorry, we've changed it. We've gone for a 4 at the back, but we're going with, again, no left winger. Don't ask me questions. Again, I am going to kind of rely on Caio Henrique to be moving forward. This kind of does work out so that we can have Ben Seguir and De Ketelaere, as well as, yeah, I think this is kind of how I want to be running it, and I think I will be, this is how I will be running it. This is very simply, this is how I will be running it. I will be locking the right players in the right positions, of course. I haven't decided where the right players are going to go, but this is somewhat what it's going to be like. Ben Seguir will be locked in. It's just obviously the injury that he has is limiting how much he can play right now. I think this team is going to work out well. I'm excited, and so far it's proven that it's proven well so far. 5 games in, only 1 draw, 4 wins. Those 4 wins consist of an away win at Lyon, away at Troyes, I'm going to say Troyes, a home win against Nantes and Reims, but a draw at home against Lille, 2-2. We're lucky that other teams haven't been able to keep up with us, especially PSG, who have lost 2 matches already. I'm predicting that they've lost all hope now. All of their money's gone. Their owners have probably withdrawn themselves from anything involved with the club, and they're gone. They're out of the race completely now. But I think this team can do well for us in our one final season here. I hope the a couple aging players in the team, Rabiot, doesn't get in the way of anything. He looks to be playing very well still, so I'm hoping that his age doesn't get into the way. Otherwise, this team's looking very good. I'm excited to move on to the end of this season to show you our results, and hopefully I can come back to you with some big ones. So we're here, end of our final season, and there are a couple things to note on here. First off, look at those available jobs. PSG job is out there, meaning that PSG have not done as well as they would have hoped for sure. Rennes and OGC Nice there as well, meaning our only real competition here would be either Lyon or Marseille. Now let's just move on to player stats. Charles De Ketelaere, with an instant impact on the team, came in that shadow striker role and has absolutely shredded the competition just like that. I think he's a top class player. The league is, he's way too good for it. Simple as. He's too good for the league and he has dominated. Ben Seguir has done even better. 20 goals and 11 assists, 7.44 average rating, and only now he's entered his prime and Man City are already interested. They're coming in to get him. If I was continuing this save, he would probably be gone. I'll be honest, he would probably be gone because I don't see him rejecting that money. France capped now. France have entered into the race. Like, France have taken over. France have brought him into their team now. I think he's a world-class player for sure by now, and honestly, he looks it as well. Most assists goes to Caio Henrique. As I said, he was kind of the main player on the left-hand side. He was, you know, whipping in good balls to our striker and all of that good stuff. I think we're ready to look at competitions now. I think we're ready to look at competitions for this final season. Let's do this. I'm excited. Let's go. Okay. We've won it all. We've won it all. We've won it all. Not all, but we've won the League 1. We've won Ligue 1 once again, meaning the goal of this entire save has been completed. Let's be honest. Only one single loss, a 3-2 loss, sorry, against RC Lens. One goal could have meant that we've gone invincible, but never mind. It's okay. Also, a semi-final finish in the Champions League is quite good. I'll be honest there. That's something that I'm quite happy with, taking us to the semi-finals. I think in another season, I could have gone on to the finals and potentially won the Champions League. But we dominated the league for sure, 10 points ahead. And like I said, PSG have lost all of it. They have nothing left. No goodness left about them. They've lost it all. Nothing to comment anymore on them. They are horrible club. But league phase, we made it through second. Big result in itself, by the way. Round of 16s against Arsenal, we beat them on penalties. quarterfinals against Real Madrid, and we went through 5-4, only to lose to Newcastle. So I played against Arsenal and Real Madrid, but the team I lose to is Newcastle. Never mind. Never mind. I apologize for commenting. French Cup, we made it to the semi-finals for getting knocked out to Clermont. Alright. I can't say much. Trophée de Champion though, we actually have won that. And I think that's our first trophy other than the league we've won. Honestly, looking at this rebuild as a whole, as a total, we've done well. We've kept our finances good. We've won a lot of trophies. Well, not a lot. We won a fair amount of trophies. But the main goal of the rebuild was to knock PSG off. And I can see them there in the Europa League spots right now. So I'm going to count that as a very big success of a rebuild. We've completed everything that we needed to. And we've done it in a great fashion. I really enjoyed that. We've managed to do it all. So that marks the end of a very successful rebuild, and another one. If you did enjoy that as much as I did, please leave a massive like on the video as it goes so far. Also, do hit that subscribe button and press the notification bell to know every single time that I post. Also, as in every rebuild, I do like to ask you guys to rate them. Rate my rebuild from a scale of 1 to 10. A 1 if you think maybe it wasn't so great of a rebuild, there are places to improve, and a 10 if you think it was a great rebuild, and obviously anything in between with the right feedback on it, because feedback does help me grow and become the best content creator possible. I love it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you had a great time watching it, and I hope to catch you in the next one.